Batman's battle against crime never ends. And now you can bring the action home.
Batman, ha-ha, you missed.
Yeah, but I only missed once.
You can't escape Joker. Just watch if you can.
You won't be alone for long.
And in the Batcave.
No criminal can hide from Batman. Batman, gotta run to jail.
Each item sold separately from Toy Biz.
Two Geeks, Two Beers Podcast. Nerdy obsessions, drunken ramblings with Morgan, Jeffrey, and Tom Eames.
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Two Geeks. I'm Morgan, and tell me, Tom, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah, a few times.
Oh, right, nice. Yeah. Well, this episode, we're taking a trip back to 1989 and the birth of the modern comic book blockbuster with Tim Burton's Batman. Tom, what do you know about 1989's Batman?
Can you guess?
Yeah, you told me in the pub before.
I think I've watched it once.
No, that's not what you told me. You thought you'd never seen it. And my response was, and I stand by this, disgusting. Disgusting.
I think, you know, like I went, it's probably like 15 years ago now, I went through a period of watching, as they say, the best films of all time, as IMDb would say.
Yeah. As IMDb would say.
And I'm sure I watched it, but I feel like I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't appreciate it enough. And so hopefully you're going to just teach me everything. I have seen Batman and Robin several times.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Batman Forever, and I don't think I've seen Batman 2. Batman Returns.
Batman 2.
I don't think I've seen it.
Well, look, we'll get to them all. Not today.
When I got round to watching it, it was whilst the Dark Knight era was going.
Yeah.
And so I feel I probably just found it a bit campy.
Campy?
Yeah. Well, it is, isn't it, in comparison?
This is outrageous. No, I feel like this is how, like, when everyone loved Pierce Brosnan as Bond, and then everyone unapologetically loved Pierce Brosnan.
Yes.
Suddenly Daniel Craig came along. Also good.
Revisionist.
But revisionist history was, Pierce Brosnan is cheesy and naff. No, he wasn't. He was great. You all loved him.
But I have always said I do look forward, apart from maybe the first two at least, going back and watching them, because I've seen that clip of Michelle Pfeiffer in the second one doing the whips.
Oh yeah, you want to go back? You want to go back and watch that? Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm sure it's great.
It is great, and to be honest, I don't know what I want really, because if you were to say to me, I've seen it, I love it, I know it inside and out, you've got nothing to teach me.
Yeah,
I'll be like, well, what's the point of this then?
Exactly.
But when you tell me you haven't seen it, I'm also annoyed. So you can't win, to be fair.
No.
Well, coming up, a cock-up in the Batmobile, how the film's schedule accommodated Jack Nicholson's wild nightlife, and why Batman ended up dickless. By which I mean there was no Dick Grayson in the film. No Robin. Right, let's get into it. Here's the trailer for Batman.
Okay.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Nice outfit. I have given a name to my pain.
What are you?
I'm Batman. Where did he get those wonderful toys? My life is really complex. Winged freak terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Quite a brave film to do at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Because what was the context for superhero films at this moment?
We will get onto it.
Because
almost immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Batman was released in June 1989 in the US and August in the UK. But the film's origin story begins in the late 1970s, a decade on from the Batman television series starring Adam West as the Caped Crusader. Okay. So film producer Michael E. Uslan wanted to make a dark, serious screen adaptation of Batman, but was told by the president of DC Comics that no one is interested in Batman.
Wow.
The last inquiry regarding the rights to the character had come via CBS, who had wanted to make a Batman in outer space movie. Batman in space. Uslan purchased the film rights in 1979, but was unsuccessful in pitching Batman to various movie studios, including Columbia Pictures, United Artists, and Universal, who were only familiar with the campy television series. So Batman was kind of in the gutter at this point. Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, it's Adam West or nothing. We just kind of want that light, frothy stuff.
Right.
Although eventually, Warner Brothers, the studio behind the successful Superman film franchise, agreed to produce a Batman movie. So Superman, the Christopher Reeve movies were kind of like the template. That was the only real template that Hollywood had of like how to make a decent superhero movie at this point. Tom Mankiewicz, who had contributed to the Superman screenplay and written several James Bond films, completed a script titled The Batman in June 1983, exploring Batman and Dick Grayson's origins and featuring the Joker and mob boss Rupert Thorne as villains and Gotham City socialite Silver St. Cloud as the romantic interest. The Batman was announced in late 1983 for a mid-1985 release date. Mankiewicz wanted an unknown actor for Batman and pictured Sunset Boulevard's William Holden as Commissioner Gordon, David Niven as Alfred Pennyworth, I think he would have been good, and Peter O'Toole as the Penguin. A number of filmmakers were attached to Mankiewicz's script, including Gremlins' Joe Dante and Ghostbusters' Ivan Reitman, who reportedly wanted to cast Bill Murray as Batman. And Eddie Murphy, then aged 22, as Robin. What's your thoughts?
Mental.
Yeah.
But then who would have thought Michael Keaton would have done it?
Yeah, we'll get onto that. Yeah, like maybe Bill Murray would have pulled it out of the bag. Yeah. Who's to say? Other directors allegedly under consideration included, take a deep breath, Wes Craven, David Cronenberg, Sam Raimi, John Carpenter, James Cameron, Ridley Scott, and John McTiernan.
So just all the directors.
Any and all directors working in the 80s were apparently considered for Batman. But Warner Brothers hired Tim Burton to direct Batman in 1986, following the financial success of the previous year's Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Burton had his then girlfriend, the screenwriter Judy Hickson, write a new 30-page film treatment, which charted Bruce's training and early days as Batman following his parents' death, the death of Dick Grayson's parents at the hands of the Joker, and Batman teaming up with Robin to take down the Joker at the film's climax. DC Comics writer Stephen Englehart then wrote another treatment early in 1986, which removed Dick Grayson and a cameo from the Penguin from the narrative. Another writer, Sam Hamm, then wrote a screenplay, Sam Hamm. It's fun to say. Replacing Silver St. Cloud with another Bruce Wayne love interest from the comics, the journalist Vicky Vale, and replacing Rupert Thorne with an original character, the gangster Carl Grissom. Although Hamm's early drafts restored Robin to the film. So Robin was in, he was out, he was in, he was out.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, I know, right? Once production was underway, the 1988 Writers Guild of America strike forced Hamm to drop out of Batman. Warren Scarron, who had co-written Burton's Beetlejuice, performed rewrites on the film, once again removing Robin. Scarron also added a controversial scene in which Alfred lets Vicky Vale into the Batcave, exposing Bruce Wayne's secret identity.
Alfred?
What are you playing at? Yeah. This scene and a change to the comic mythology, which reveals the Joker to be the gunman responsible for murdering Thomas and Martha Wayne, were among some of the more divisive aspects of the final film. Hopefully Tom cut it out, but it took me 3 takes to say divisive. Not sure why.
Normally me that can't say certain words.
I know, right? Thank you. He's loving it. This change was supposed to be a surprise for audiences, though it seems like no one told Michael Keaton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. He's obviously the Joker.
Yeah.
And you're Batman.
Yeah.
And what happens? What has he done to irritate you?
Yeah. Just generally, no. He's enough. I witnessed Batman. Bruce Wayne witnesses the murder of his parents when he's a kid.
And the Joker had done that?
Yeah, but he doesn't know it till later.
I see.
I'm kind of blowing the plot here.
Yeah.
But
like nobody's going to go see it now.
Really?
Just dropped a big spoiler on Letterman.
Really?
What was he doing? What was Keaton doing? But yeah.
Must have been fuming.
I feel like, though, you could kind of do that at the time and get away with it. If it happened now, it would be all over the internet and YouTube and social media. But yeah, and in fact, that clip resurfaced recently, and people were like, "Oh, Michael, remember when you ruined Batman?"
Not because you acted in Batman.
no, you were very good, as we'll get onto. Sam Hamm later said it was Tim Burton's idea to have the Joker murder Bruce Wayne's parents, adding, "I also hold innocent to Alfred letting Vicky Vale into the Batcave." Fans were ticked off with that, and I agree. That would have been Alfred's last day of employment at Wayne Manor.
Did Alfred just think he was going to get lucky?
No, it was this shit. He's like, "Oh, maybe you should like tell Vicky Vale your secret," and then he just sort of like takes matters into his own hands and is like, "Master Bruce, here she is." Additional uncredited rewrites were performed by Charles McCowan, best known for his collaborations with Terry Gilliam, including co-writing 1985's Brazil, and Jonathan Gems, great name. It could be Gems. I'm
going to say Gems.
I hope it's Gems. Yeah. Jonathan Gems, who wrote Mars Attacks. Batman was finally given the green light to commence pre-production in April 1988 after the success of Burton's Beetlejuice the same year. So, a very quick run-through of the plot in true Two Geeks fashion. In the final film, Gotham City reporter Alexander Knox and photojournalist Vicky Vale investigate the elusive vigilante Batman, unaware that he is billionaire Bruce Wayne. Wayne, traumatized by witnessing his parents' murder, now fights crime from the shadows.
From the shadows.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman. Yeah.
I refuse to believe it's easy to run around in that outfit.
I don't think it was. I think he even turned his head.
He can't turn his head.
Can't turn his head.
I feel like Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
When I don't like doing it, but every now and then put my hood up when it's raining.
Yeah.
Because you can't see anything either side.
Yeah.
So you have to sort of move your whole fucking head to the side just to look, see if there's a car coming. And I feel like his version of Batman is just very like, oh fuck.
Similar experience.
Yeah. It doesn't look very. It doesn't look very easy to maneuver.
No. Well, Michael Keaton, I don't know if you've seen this before, he gave the commencement speech at his alma mater, Kent State University in Ohio in 2018. And it's worth having a look at his speech.
Okay.
And to present this plaque as our thank you for spending time with us and being here, and welcome home.
Thank you very much. I've got one more thing to say, and it'll only take me a second. I've got 2 words that I want you all to remember. They're very important. And if I leave you with anything, I'm going to leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are, I'm Batman.
What a dude.
But I love that loads of people there are like, I don't know what that means. They don't know who, didn't realize he's Batman.
Look,
was in Batman.
You heard the cheers. If Michael Keaton was like the alumni of your
Do you feel like that's the pinnacle of life to be invited back to your uni to get that kind of honorary degree type situation? And everyone fucking loves you, and that's...
Yeah, I think so. Hasn't happened to me, but...
No, you never know.
No, you never know.
Services to podcasts.
Yeah. Can't even
Yeah.
get nominated for Independent Podcast Award, let alone get...
Oh, don't let me get started.
At a fundraiser, Bruce Wayne becomes enamored with Vicky Vale, just as mobster Jack Napier, betrayed by his boss Carl Grissom, is left to die at Axis Chemicals. Batman confronts Napier, who falls into chemicals, emerging as the disfigured, deranged Joker. This origin story for the Joker was first used in Detective Comics issue 168 in 1951 and was created by the writer Bill Finger. Driven by revenge, Joker kills Grissom, seizes control of Gotham's crime syndicates, and terrorizes the city with a toxin, causing victims to die laughing. Learning of Joker's role in his parents' death after the audience had, obviously, Batman foils the villain's plan to poison Gotham City, leading to a final showdown at a cathedral where Batman ultimately causes Joker to fall to his death. Does he cause him? I don't know. It's kind of ambiguous. Anyway, Gotham is safe once more, and the police honor Batman with a bat signal. Vicky, aware of Bruce's secret, awaits him, while Batman stands vigil over Gotham, ready to protect it from future threats.
We've received a letter from Batman this morning.
I love that. We've received a letter from Batman. Like, we just posted it, did he? In like
Gotham City has earned
full
the rest
costume.
from crime. But if the forces of evil should rise again to cast a shadow on the heart of the city, call me.
Question. How do we call him?
Who made that?
He gave us a signal.
How did he deliver the bat signal?
Yeah.
Did he just like have it shipped? Great, but like...
Also, someone else could make one. And
Yeah. It's like, how have you verified that this letter and indeed this bat signal comes from Batman? Did they do any like handwriting analysis, or did he type it out? And how do they know it's from Batman?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Who's verifying this? Anyway, the film's climax was a point of some contention. Originally, the Joker was meant to kill Vicky Vale, sending Batman into a vengeful fury. The film's producer, John Peters, reworked the climax without telling Tim Burton and commissioned production designer Anton Furst to create a 38-foot model of the cathedral, which cost $100,000 when the film was already well over budget. Burton was forced to come up with a new ending on the spot. He later recalled, "Here were Jack Nicholson and Kim Basinger." Basinger? What are we going with? Basinger. Burton later recalled, here were Jack Nicholson and Kim Basinger walking up this cathedral, and halfway up, Jack turns around and says, "Why am I walking up all these stairs? Where am I going?" Burton said, "We'll talk about it when you get to the top." I had to tell him I didn't know. So they were filming scenes having no idea how the film was going to end. So let's get on to the cast. So Hollywood A-listers considered for the role of Batman, and these are all verified, so these are legit, included Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, Charlie Sheen, Tom Selleck,
brilliant,
and Dennis Quaid.
Great.
Feel like they all could have pulled it off?
Yeah, I mean, Charlie Sheen might have been able to pull it off.
Bit young, I feel like, at the time.
Yeah, Costner would have been great.
Yeah.
Selleck would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
Mel, I don't know. At that time.
It's got the unhinged vibe.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Now has the unhinged vibe, but at the time might have been great. Burton approached someone I think would have been great, Pierce Brosnan.
Wow.
Who turned the part down.
Loved a bit of Pierce, even back then. I suppose Remington Steele was such a big deal.
Yeah, he was a big TV star looking for his big movie break. He said, I went and met with Tim Burton. No, he said, I went and met with Tim Burton for the role of Batman, but I just couldn't really take it seriously. Any man who wears his underpants outside his pants just cannot be taken seriously. That was my foolish take on it. It was a joke, I thought, but how wrong was I? Bronholm as Batman would have been great.
Good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. He's got the look, couldn't he?
Yeah. You don't have to be Batman and Bond, though, are you?
No. But again, like Christian Bale, people talked about him being Bond maybe at some point. And yeah. Pattinson even. Willem Dafoe has said he also had early talks to play Batman. Producer John Peters finally suggested Michael Keaton after being impressed by his edgy, tormented, dramatic performance as a real estate agent struggling with a substance abuse problem in the 1988 film Clean and Sober. Keaton's casting was controversial, as he was best known as a comedic actor, appearing in the likes of Burton's Beetlejuice and 1983 film comedy Mr. Mom.
Because again, it's probably similar to when Heath Ledger got cast as the Joker.
Yeah.
Not quite, he's quite a comedic actor, but he wasn't like Keaton levels of comedy.
No.
But at the time, I remember just thinking, what the hell? What?
The guy from 10 Things I Hate About You. That's what you think of. You think of
A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, the guy from A Knight's Tale, and the guy who sings You're Just Too Good to Be True from great. But
it must have just been, because there's no way he would have just been cast. He would have had to have auditioned.
Yeah, of course.
And he must have obviously done what he ended up doing.
Yeah.
And they must have sat there, okay, Heath Ledger's coming in. I'm mates with the agent. We've got to say we did it. I mean, obviously, we're not going to cast Heath Ledger as the agent. and he walks in, does that. Scars, and we're like, well, that was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But they must have, Nolan must have just sat there going, okay, didn't expect that. But similar to Keaton, it must have been, obviously, we were too young at the time, but I bet when fans first heard about that, it must have just been, what are you doing?
Well,
Beetlejuice.
Keaton later described his casting as a ballsy move on Tim Burton's part. The decision led to Warner Brothers offices being inundated with 50,000 protest letters from fans. People were pissed that it's a lot back then.
It is.
Like you would send more. I get that's true actually because emails don't.
Actually,
you have to write
letters.
Write a letter. People were furious. I would say even more so than you know, after the Heath Ledger casting. In response, a teaser trailer was rushed into cinemas in the Christmas of 1988, which earned a warm reception and turned the tide of public opinion. So let's see a little bit of Keaton in his pomp, just giving it his all as Bruce Wayne / Batman.
Let me tell you about this guy I know, Jack. Mean kid, bad seed, hurt people. I like him already. Now, the problem was he got sloppy, crazy. He started to lose it. He had a head full of bad wiring, I guess. Couldn't keep it straight up here. He was the kind of guy who couldn't hear the train till it was 2 feet from him. You know what happened to this guy, Jack? Wow. Made mistakes. Then he had this light shot. Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What? I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.
But
quite a cracking scene, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. And I think people have said it. Well, people have definitely said it before. But what's great about Keaton is he genuinely feels like he's crazy.
Yeah,
like he's just a bit off the rails. In ways
for a lot.
Yeah, well, but also like that. I believe that he would dress up as a bat.
Yeah.
I believe that guy would do that. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Other incarnations, you just feel like
what?
Yeah,
I get that you want to like fight crime and stuff, but there's probably like other ways you could have gone about it and stuff. But whereas like he's like, no, he's just off. He's just off his rocker.
He just fucking loves bats. Just had to do it.
Loves them, hates them. Got a sort of love-hate relationship. Keaton called himself a logic freak and was concerned that Batman's secret identity would in reality be fairly easy to uncover. He decided to perform Batman's voice at a lower register than when he was portraying Bruce Wayne, which became a hallmark of the film version of the character. So that whole thing of like...
Christian Bale was weird.
I'm Batman. That whole thing is basically from... But Michael Keaton is more like, he's Bruce Wayne up here and then he's kind of like slightly lower. And then it becomes...
Christian Bale.
Well, Christian Bale was like... He's like, I'm Bruce Wayne and I've got loads of money. And then he's like, the people swear to me, Rachel. It's people of Gotham just proved. Yeah. I didn't say thank you. And you'll never have to. Because I'm not wearing hockey pads.
God, it must have been so annoying to do that voice all day long.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Tom Hardy's, which is just like, what's it?
No, it's I always say the perfect way to do a Bane voice.
Yeah.
This is my the recipe. So, well, and people have said actually that my Patrick Stewart sounds like Sean Connery, so maybe that's why. so you start off as Patrick Stewart, like that. Then you add a bit of Sean Connery, like that. Then,
sound like Alan Partridge.
Then you go a bit lower, like that. And then your inflections go up and down. And then your Bane. Where's Bane? Why does he wear the mask?
Is that Aidan Gillen?
Yeah. He's like, perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. Was this part of your master plan?
Why is Aidan Gillen's voice which is funnier? Why are you trying to be Bronholm? A really bad Bronholm.
Was that part of your master plan? Of course. The fire rises.
It sounds like James Stewart.
All my impressions just. What is it?
Oh, Batman.
It's like. Oh, that's right. An angel gets its wings. It's just like, yeah. Oh, Mr. Potter. Anyway. Considered for the Joker were Tim Curry, David Bowie.
Brilliant.
You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Brad Dourif.
I'm not familiar with Brad Dourif. Should I?
Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old was he at the time?
Like, old enough.
Really?
Yeah.
He seemed maybe he was old.
What, because he looked so young and youthful
I don't know.
in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah,
he looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even as Wormtongue, he looked great.
Yeah. Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
And James Woods.
James Woods, yeah.
John Lithgow was also considered, but wasn't keen.
Oh, he'd be great.
He would be good. He told Vulture later that my worst audition was for Tim Burton for Batman. I tried to persuade him I was not right for the part, and I succeeded.
We've done this before. What was his line in the Santa Claus? No, Santa Claus the movie. Do you remember?
I've never seen Santa Claus the movie.
We've talked about it, haven't we?
No, I don't think so.
All right, we've got to get this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Got to get this up.
No. Maybe, look, if we did this, it was in like
10 years ago.
Yeah, we did this like 10 years ago.
Let me find it. Please say it's on here. Yes, it for free. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah, no, this is ringing a bell.
Imagine this is the Joker.
What would it cost?
Cost? Cost who?
The people who buy the toy.
Well, nothing. We're going to give them away free. Oh, that's fantastic. How do you turn your face so red so fast?
For free!
So good.
Yeah.
Really, really hams it up. Look at that.
Fantastic. How do you turn your face so red so fast?
For free!
How much does he spend on those wonderful toys? He gets them for free? Yeah, he could have done it.
It's up there with Tim Curry with the space line.
Space?
God, watch that now. I know we've gone right off topic, but talking about Tim Curry.
Yeah, we were talking about Tim Curry.
Command and Conquer?
I think it's Command and Conquer, yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
One of the funniest line deliveries of all time.
Because he knows.
It's his funny little face.
He knows how ridiculous it is.
His funny little face.
And he laughs before he says it.
Yeah.
And he goes, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Fuck it. You wrote the line, so I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Look at his face.
Space!
It's so strange. Look. He actually goes, he's like, Gary or whoever's like filming is like, Gary, this line is absolute. No, Tim, just do it. It's fine. It's for a video game. No one cares.
This line is absolute dog shit, Gary.
Space!
It's like, do you want me to do it again?
Yeah. Nah. No, you nailed it.
Fucking brilliant.
You nailed it.
Oh.
Allegedly, Robin Williams was offered the part of the Joker when the studio's top choice, Jack Nicholson, hesitated. When Nicholson finally accepted the role, Williams was released from his contract and, stung by the experience, refused to be involved in any Warner Brothers production until the studio apologized.
I assume they did.
They did. And the end result was Father's Day with Billy Crystal. Which then just kept them.
But he would have been great, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, I think at the time would have been, again, a big swing, like a Keaton-style swing. But obviously later on he went to do things like Insomnia, 1 Hour Photo, and you saw the more dramatic, goods that he could deliver. Nicholson accepted the role of the Joker under strict conditions that dictated top billing in the cast and a portion of the film's earnings, including associated merchandise, which, as we'll get onto, was considerable, with his total earnings believed to be in excess of $50 million.
And back then,
believed to be, some people say, may have been as much as $90 million. He also dictated his own shooting schedule. Nicholson was known for staying out until 3 a.m., dining out and attending parties.
Just being about.
Yeah, just being a party man. So he would often arrive on set at 10 a.m. at the earliest, then immediately fall asleep in the makeup chair. And it took 2 hours to apply the prosthetics, which transformed Nicholson into the Joker.
But I love the idea. He was just in the chair, just snoring while they put in all the...
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's got to sit there for 2 hours. So
might as well have a nap.
Sleep off his hangover.
Yeah.
That you, Sugar Bumps? Who the hell are you?
It's me, Sugar Bumps.
Oh, thank God you're alive. I heard you'd been
Fried? Is that what you heard? You set me up over a woman. A woman! You must be insane. Don't bother.
Your life won't be worth spit!
I've been dead once already. It's very liberating. You should think of it as therapy.
Jack, listen. Maybe we can cut a deal.
Jack? Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier. What a day.
I feel like it's not quite what we were talking about before, where people now think Nicholson, was no good. Because I feel like Heath Ledger's performance was so good that it's now become almost like the definitive Joker, the Joker to beat.
And then Joaquin Phoenix, at least in the first one, really good as well.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not
Jared Leto.
No, just won't talk about Jared Leto. It's not quite the same thing, but I do feel like Jack Nicholson's Joker is now underappreciated because Heath Ledger was so good. And Heath Ledger was amazing, but
he's doing it more of the traditional, the Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Well, Mark Hamill was inspired by this performance.
And so, but the makeup as well. I mean, like, do you get onto how they did the mouth? Because that's...
Not in detail.
But like, it looks like they've...
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it.
Oh, it was like prosthetics. They did a cast of his relaxed face.
Yeah.
And then a cast of him doing like the biggest grin possible. And just basically like stuck prosthetics of a grin on his face.
Yeah. Just...
In layman's terms.
Yeah.
Just really good. And I feel like now, sort of weirdly, doesn't get the credit. Huge at the time, but doesn't get the credit he deserves. Nicholson got into the habit of signing his Joker gloves and giving them away as gifts to visitors on the set, much to the chagrin of costume designer Bob Ringwood.
Can you stop it?
Well, Ringwood asked Nicholson to stop giving out the gloves, and although Nicholson promised he would, he kept doing it.
Sure.
New gloves were constantly being made throughout filming, and Ringwood estimated that there must have been hundreds of signed Nicholson Joker gloves, which I guess sort of made them, worthless.
Yeah.
Cast as a young Joker in flashback sequences was Hugo Blick, an actor who later turned writer-producer, creating the television series The Shadow Line in 2011 and The Honourable Woman in 2014, with Maggie Gyllenhaal, who would eventually be in The Dark Knight. Yeah. Blade Runner star Sean Young was originally cast as Vicky Vale, but was injured in a horse riding accident prior to filming, so was replaced at short notice by Kim Basinger. Michael Gough was cast as Bruce Wayne's butler Alfred, as Burton was a fan of his work in Hammer horror films, including 1958's Dracula and 1962's The Phantom of the Opera. And the reporter Alexander Knox, who was an original character not from the comics, was portrayed by Robert Wool. In the original script, Knox was killed by the Joker's poison gas during the climax, but the filmmakers liked my character so much, Wool said, they decided to let me live. And I get it, because still now, but particularly when I was a kid, Knox is my favourite. Knox is my favourite character. You just love, if you're like a 12-year-old boy, you love Knox.
Well, welcome, Count Dracula. Had any sightings of Bigfoot lately?
Hey, Knox, they buried your story on the Batman.
That's what they do to garbage.
This is Pulitzer Prize stuff, guys.
Hey, Knox, I got something for you.
Very funny. You should have a bit more gore under the fangs, all right? What a dick. Hello, Lace.
I'm reading your stuff.
Well, I'm reading yours.
Hi, I'm Vicky Vale.
Vicky Vale, yeah, photographer, Vogue, Cosmo, yeah. Listen, if you want me to pose nude, you're gonna need a long lens.
Actually, I was in the Corto Maltese.
Girl could get hurt doing this stuff. So, what brings you here?
I'm here to see some of the wildlife in Gotham City.
Wow.
Hmm.
Like what?
Like bats.
Who sent you?
No, nobody. Really, I just loved your story, and I like bats.
I just feel like he's so good in that kind of sort of comic relief role, but also brings more to it. Yeah. I feel like he was a successful actor, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like he should have been like, after this, he should have been in more like big films as like, leading roles.
There's a subtle, almost sadness to his character.
Yeah.
Where he's just like...
Bit of a sad sack, but he's kind of witty with it. And great. Steve Martin and Daniel Stern of Home Alone fame turned down the role of Alexander Knox. Don Johnson and William Peterson were considered to play Gotham City DA Harvey Dent, but Tim Burton chose Star Wars actor Billy D. Williams because he wanted to use the villain Two-Face in a future film and was interested in using the concept of an African-American Two-Face to explore black and white duality, which...
What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I guess like having like half his face be black and half white.
Really?
Yeah, it feels a bit like I'm sort of glad they did.
Is that what happened?
They didn't do that. Well, not the comics because he's white. Harvey Dent is
No,
white.
but does that happen in the film?
No, because when it comes to Batman Forever, they recast.
Oh, so he doesn't
Tommy Lee Jones.
He doesn't get to.
No, not in this. You've seen it.
Oh, I mean, I don't remember it.
The Joker's chief henchman, Bob, was played by Jack Nicholson's close friend, the actor Tracy Walter, at Nicholson's behest. And the rest of the cast included Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon, Jerry Hall, in her acting debut as Grissom's girlfriend, Alicia, although Patsy Kensit auditioned for the part, but she was felt to be too young opposite Nicholson.
Fair enough.
William Hootkins, who played X-Wing pilot Porkins in Star Wars, plays corrupt cop Lieutenant Eckhart. Brian Dennehy
Brian Dennehy.
was considered, but I guess the casting director went, no, not fucking Brian Dennehy. Jack Palance plays crime boss Carl Grissom after Martin Landau turned down the part, with Christopher Lee and Albert Finney also being considered.
Finney.
Yeah. Dick Grayson, again, still hanging around at this point, appeared in the shooting script, but was deleted because filmmakers felt he was irrelevant to the plot. Prior to this, the role was offered to a 19-year-old Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Kiefer said, I was like, as in Robin with tights? No. I didn't realize they were going to make the coolest movie ever.
Imagine that. And then what did we get?
Chris O'Donnell. His co-star from The Three Musketeers.
True.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So and Charlie Sheen, also in The Three Musketeers, was almost Batman.
Yeah.
Who would you cast Oliver Platt as in Batman?
Penguin.
Yeah, Penguin, yeah. He'd be a great Penguin, actually, wouldn't he? Even now.
Yeah, even now.
Hashtag cast Oliver Platt as the Penguin.
Platt Penguin.
Hashtag Plattwin. Plattwin. So filming on Batman took place at Pinewood Studios in the UK from October 1988 to January 1989. The Gotham City set was one of the biggest ever built at the studio, and the film's budget escalated from $30 million to $48 million. So I laughed when I said Gotham City because it reminded me of...
R. Kelly's Gotham City?
Yeah. We've been hanging out too much. Look, clearly not the worst thing R. Kelly ever did, but he did release a song called Gotham City for the Batman and Robin.
Was it?
I think it's Batman and Robin soundtrack. Now, actually, weirdly, those bad Batman sequels
had great songs.
Have great soundtracks. Hold Me, Throw Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me by U2.
Kiss from Rose. Kiss from Rose.
And Kiss from Rose.
Song.
Batman Forever. Batman and Robin had but that actually, no, maybe it's just Batman Forever because Batman and Robin. Because Batman Forever also has a song by Flaming Lips on it as well, like a soundtrack. Great. Batman and Robin has a song, I'm pretty sure it's Batman and Robin, has a song called Gotham City by R. Kelly, in which he sings, Gotham City, it's the city of justice, the city of love. Now,
is it?
I'm pretty sure it's definitely not. I'm pretty sure it's if there were two words you were going to describe it as.
Paris has got a shout out. But,
yeah. But I also feel like it's maybe like the city of like injustice and hate. If anything, like...
Yeah, death and just weirdos.
Yeah, death and weirdos. Yeah. City of death and weirdos. But I guess that doesn't sound as good on the little sign when you ride in. Production designer Anton Furst deliberately mixed clashing architectural styles to make Gotham City the ugliest and bleakest metropolis. God, I'm channeling you today, aren't I?
Metropolis.
Thank you. Yeah, you are loving this. You are loving this. I think... What? What'd you say? It's Metropolis, actually. God, I must be insufferable to host this podcast with. I apologise, Tom.
What did I get wrong last time?
Ferrari. What did I say? What did I even say there? Metropolis. Metropolis. Production designer Anton Furst deliberately mixed clashing architectural styles to make Gotham City the ugliest and bleakest metropolis imaginable.
Hey,
that is hard.
It is hard.
Yeah, I wanted to include his quote here because it's so like wordy and great. He says, "We imagined what New York City might have become without a planning commission, a city run by crime with a riot of architectural styles, an essay in ugliness, as if hell erupted through the pavement and kept on going."
Wow.
Great. Nebworth House, the grounds of which are home to the Nebworth Festival, doubled for Wayne Manor. And the film's Batmobile was an adapted Chevrolet Impala. Its design inspired by modified hot rod racers of the 1930s and 1950s muscle cars, such as the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. For the Batsuit, 28 sculpted latex designs were created, including 25 different cape looks and 6 different heads at a total cost of $250,000. The designers of the Batmobile hadn't taken into account, however, the additional 4 inches that Batman's cowl added to Michael Keaton's height, so the little ears. And as such, the cowl got stuck in the sliding cockpit the first time that it was tested. It says that the cockpit seat was already positioned as low as possible. An alternate cowl with shorter ears had to be made for scenes with a Batmobile. He's like, he's uncomfortable enough, and then he
really
can't even fit in his car. Yeah. Tim Burton hired Danny Elfman to compose the film's score, but the film's producer wanted Prince to contribute to the soundtrack. And Batman was one of the first films to spawn 2 soundtracks, one of them featuring songs by Prince, while the other showcased Elfman's score. Burton was displeased with the inclusion. He liked Prince, but he was displeased with the inclusion of Prince's music, saying, "My movies aren't commercial like Top Gun, but let's have a blast."
And it's an acquired taste, I'd say, the Prince soundtrack. It's great for what it is.
It's a choice, isn't it? It's not. Yeah. I don't think anyone, even like Prince fans, will put it among his best work.
No, there we go.
What did you say? Head in, scratch.
You bring it down. Oh, you know, get around. Get away and breathe.
You know what? Completely take it back. That was great. I loved that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard that song before. That was great. That was brilliant. Totally take it back. That was brilliant.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And I have acquired it.
I do have an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And I have acquired it.
Well, in the months before Batman's release in June 1989, a popular culture phenomenon known as Batmania began, with over $750 million worth of merchandise sold. Tim Burton was annoyed by the publicity.
Annoyed?
Yeah, he was just like, what
do you mean?
It's too commercial.
Don't do it then.
Well,
that's the whole point. You're not doing an art house film.
I think
Batman.
Batman.
It's Batman.
It's Batman.
Yeah.
It's Batman. Batman received a generally positive response from critics. There was particular praise for Nicholson and Keaton's performances, Burton's direction, the production design, and Elfman's score, though some felt Nicholson's Joker overshadowed the title character. Ebert, he was impressed by the production design, but claimed Batman is a triumph of design over story, style over substance, a great-looking movie with a plot you can't care much about. Siskel, he disagreed. The boys were feuding.
Oh, no.
Siskel said it was a refreshingly adult approach with performances, direction, and set design that draws you into a psychological world. I'm Team Siskel.
I love this. Roger.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Yeah. Turn your thumbs the other way up.
Did they always do the same film? Their own review? I thought they would just tackle one each. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think they both gave their take, was the idea. Okay. Yeah. Tim Burton also wasn't a huge fan of the final product. He said, I like parts of it, but the whole movie...
You made it.
But the whole movie is mainly boring to me. Well, to be fair, they did just make him make up a new ending on the spot.
But...
He said, I liked parts of it, but the whole movie is mainly boring to me. It's okay, but it was more of a cultural phenomenon than a great movie.
Well...
All I did was create a cultural phenomenon.
He's just annoyed he didn't have Helena Bonham Carter and a corset and some sort of...
That's Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan, director of the later Dark Knight trilogy, though, described Batman as a brilliant film, visionary and extraordinarily idiosyncratic.
Yeah.
The film won an Oscar for Best Art Direction, earned a Golden Globe nomination for Jack Nicholson's performance, and was nominated for 6 BAFTAs. Batman was also ostensibly a box office hit, earning over $400 million, almost 10 times its production budget. Domestically, it was the highest grossing movie of 1989 and was the 6th highest grossing movie in history at the time of its release. However, Warner Brothers later claimed it ended up losing almost $36 million on Batman, and the film's not likely to ever show a profit, which has been attributed to a case of Hollywood accounting. I think it was sort of like burying costs and things like that. So like, although on paper,
the budget was actually more.
It was a huge success, I think actually it lost money.
Well.
But it was successful enough to be followed by 3 sequels. Batman 2, Batman Returns in 1992, with both Burton and Keaton returning. Batman Forever in 1995, which featured Val Kilmer in the lead role. And underrated performance, I think, in that one.
Yeah.
And Batman Robin in 1997, which featured George Clooney in the role.
Now, might as well talk about it briefly.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on their Bond-style recastings, but keeping it in the same canon and
yeah, fine.
Yeah. Even though they're very different. That's what annoyed me about it, that Kilmer's great, but it's completely different to what Keaton...
I don't know. I feel like you can just about buy Kilmer as the same guy.
Yeah.
By the time you get to Clooney, no. The bigger problem is the total change in...
That's the thing.
In tone.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've still got Michael Gough there, and I'm like, is this meant to be the same thing?
It's fun.
Yeah, and Pat Hingle's still hanging about.
Forever, I think, got away with it just because it still looked good enough, and the casting was great.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. And,
Nicole Kidman.
But yeah, Batman and Robin.
I always say, and we may get onto this when we do, these as episodes, which we inevitably will. Batman and Robin is sort of without merit.
Yeah.
Almost entirely without merit. Batman Forever, I feel like there's a good film in there somewhere trying to get out.
Yeah.
Like there's aspects of it. Like Val Kilmer is genuinely quite good in it.
Yeah.
I think there's aspects of it that work, and then aspects of it that are dog shit.
And that saves it for me.
And Kiss from a Rose is obviously incredible.
Yeah.
But so it's sort of like it's kind of half. It's got like half its foot in the Burton verse and half its foot in the Schumacher verse, which then saw like full realization in Batman and Robin.
Did you, when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Back in the era where you'd had posters up in your room.
Yeah.
I remember for a good 3 years.
Yeah.
I had the Batman Forever poster in my room.
Yeah. I think I know exactly the one you mean. The one where it's like Batman and then like all the characters sort of down by his arm. Yeah.
And I've never seen it. I've seen it now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'd never seen it.
Oh, you never seen the film?
No. But for some reason had it on my wall. But like, why? Why did I make that decision? Because there's premium wall space. I don't have much space. It's quite a small room.
Yeah.
For some reason, I went, yep, I want that on my wall.
Just Batman.
Have you ever seen... No. Do you like Batman and the comic books? No, not really. Why then? Dunno.
No.
Why? Why did I do that?
Just impress all your mates.
Very strange.
Invite them around to play Pogs and you're like, hey, look, I like Batman, I'm cool.
I think I was just trying to be cool. I think I was trying to be cool. In case someone comes around, I want them to think all he knows is films.
That's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
We still want people to think we're cool. Yeah.
Look where it's got us.
And look where it's got us. Michael Keaton eventually reprised the role of Batman in the DC Extended Universe film The Flash in 2023. Less said about that, the better. And Robert Wuhl reprised his role of Alexander Knox in the CW's Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths in 2019.
Really?
Yeah, a little cameo, just a little short clip. Here it is.
Okay.
Because now the entire multiverse is about to come under attack. There is a malevolent force at work, one driven by a singular goal.
Hang on.
I hope you're watching, big guy.
I wouldn't know that was him.
There's a sequence at the start of that, Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they just cut to different universes, and you've got like him, Burt Ward as Robin, just like all the like.
Fucking hell.
So good.
Amazing.
It was so good.
Did you recognise him?
Well, I knew it was him. So.
Yeah. Like, most people watching that won't know. Oh, it's
all the nerds watching it. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will.
You must have fucking loved that.
I was so happy, man. I can't believe they brought back my boy Knox. So good. Give Knox a grant. There have also been follow-up comic book series and novels set specifically within the world of the Burton-Keaton Batverse.
Yeah.
The film also led to the development of the acclaimed Batman the Animated Series, which launched in 1992. Episode 34 of Two Geeks. Episode 34, I looked it up. I know.
It was like yesterday we did that one.
That was about 9 years ago, mate.
Oh, shit.
And Batman is now regarded as a watershed moment in terms of Hollywood's blockbuster marketing. Also, I'm gonna call this one a fact smash. We haven't had a fact smash in a little while, have we?
Fact smash, smashes to be fact.
Smashes to be fact. Not facts to be smashed.
No,
you could have gone.
No, that's just the way it goes.
Smashes to be fact. Yeah, sure. Have we got any jingles left?
I think we've used them all now. So please, I know we haven't done a Fat Smash for a while.
No.
But if you fancy making a new jingle.
Yeah, please send us a jingle so we can stop Tom singing Smashes to be fact.
Yeah. Podcast at 2geeks2beers.com.
Very nice. Batman was responsible for the British Board of Film Classification introducing its 12 age rating as its content fell between what was expected for a PG or 15 certificate. The introduction of the later 12A certification was brought about by another comic book movie, Spider-Man, 13 years later. Which annoyed me. I remember being annoyed at the time. I was like 14 or whatever. And people were like, why have you rated Spider-Man 12? And they're like, my kid can't go and see it. And they're like, well, because it's a bit violent. And they went, no, my kid wants to see it. Let me take my kid. So they went, all right, fine, we'll invent something just for you. Yeah. Just for you, we'll invent something new. 12A. So it is 12, but if you want to take your kid, you can take your kid. Yeah. And then they took their kid and they went, it's too violent. It's like, yeah, we told you that.
Yeah.
What do you want?
But now all films are 12A, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like all the Marvel films, that's pretty much what they are, apart from Deadpool.
Yeah. So I put out the bat signal.
Nice.
For listeners' thoughts, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
got an influx of thoughts and memories and recollections of people watching Batman in 1989 for the first time. So thank you very much if you did submit a message across any of our social media platforms. We picked just a few favourites, but loads of great messages from you. Borrow Brick Road said, my mum took me to see it at the cinema in 1989. I was absolutely mesmerised from the opening credits. I think it was the first 12 certificate film in the UK. It was. And I was panicking that I'd be kicked out because I was a month off being 12. They'd be like, that kid looks 11 and 12 months, or 11 months, I guess. Jonathan Torrey said, I was 13 and a big comic fan. The buzz around the movie was huge. I saw it 2 days in a row, second and third day of its release. The skepticism of Keaton disappeared when I got to see the complete project. An amazing experience. The sets, makeup, costumes and music created a world unlike anything else. Chris Rooney said, I was working at a movie theatre in 1989. Our print of the film arrived a few days before the release and several employees stayed late after the theatre closed to watch it. I couldn't wait to go to my local comic book shop the next day and let everyone know that I'd already seen it. Lucky Chris. Yeah. And Jeff Hine said, a friend and I decided to go to see the midnight premiere on Thursday night or into Friday morning. I still remember the loud applause at the triumphant end with Danny Elfman's music and the image of Batman watching over Gotham City. I love that. People who are, it's a little bit, we were like 3 years old when this came out, so like watched it later on VHS or TV. I love hearing these stories of people who were like, watched it at the cinema at the time and what an exciting experience it was. Great, really nostalgic. So thank you all for getting in touch. So, thoughts on Batman?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I just need to watch it, really.
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah. Well, the production's great.
Yeah.
The mood is perfect.
Yeah. Not campy.
No.
Got a sense of humour.
Yeah.
But not
I think
campy.
I'm just getting confused with the later ones.
Yeah.
Which were campy.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin in particular.
Yeah.
The bat nipples. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, great. Yeah.
Well, for more comic book capers, including retrospectives on the Incredible Hulk, Judge Dredd and the X-Men, head to 2geeks2beers.com. Plus, there's more outings covering off classic TV shows, video games, and more.
And you can follow us at all the socials at 2geekscast on Facebook, Instagram and X. We're also on YouTube and TikTok, where you'll find clips from episodes old and new, as well as full-length episodes.
And please also rate and review the podcast via your podcast outlet of choice, where you can also subscribe. And you can also become a 2Geek supporter on Patreon, patreon.com/2geekscast. You can sponsor the podcast, and in return, you get exclusive Patreon-only minisodes, outtakes, personalised thank you videos, merch, and more.
And you can also email us, podcast@2geeks2beers.com, with any thoughts, feedback, and suggestions for future episodes, and maybe a Fact Smash jingle if you fancy throwing one in.
Yes, please. Well, that's it for now. So until next time, just remember, never rub another man's rhubarb.
He said that like Jim Carrey.
He kind of does in the film, though. He's like, never rub another man's rhubarb. Yeah.
Right.
So as I was pulling together my notes for this episode, I encountered, I would say, the largest amount of IMDb-debatable bullshit I've ever encountered researching any episode of Two Geeks, and the bar is pretty high, right?
So do you think this is just, I don't know what they're getting out of it, but it's just people just making stuff up with no sources?
So a lot of these are like, so we'll get onto the one point in particular. I Googled this and there is no evidence of it. There's a sort of fan wiki of like fake films that people have done for fun. And this thing I'm going to get onto is listed. And I think maybe it was like a thing of someone posted this on the internet being like, this would have been fun. And then someone else has gone, oh, this is real. And has then like posted it on IMDb as fact when it was, and now it's just lost in the mists of time, the origins of these things.
ChatGPT will see it one day and think it's a thing.
This is it. Yeah. So allegedly, although the only verification I could find for this was a fan wiki which stated it was a fake film. At one point, Steven Spielberg was interested in doing a Batman film now I want to hear what you think of the casting choices, if nothing else, which are presumably fictional. But anyway, Harrison Ford as Batman.
Fantastic.
My wife, my family, my parents. Michael J. Fox as Robin.
I mean, great, obviously. Yeah. But you're just picking people that were big in the mid-'80s.
Yeah. Tim Curry as the Joker, sure. Dustin Hoffman as the Penguin.
Yeah.
Gina Davis as Silver St. Cloud. John Pertwee as Alfred.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean...
That's it.
Well, Sean Pertwee later played Alfred in Gotham.
That's all they've done.
I think that's what
they've seen that and gone, he had a famous dad. He would have been good as Alfred.
He would have been good, to be fair, though. Yeah. Burt Reynolds as Commissioner Gordon.
Brilliant.
And Martin Sheen as Harvey Dent. All would have been, I mean, it's a fine cast for a Batman movie.
There's a parallel universe somewhere where that happened.
Yeah, but I mean, take that with a spectacularly large grain of salt. Other names IMDb threw up for the Joker: Jeff Goldblum, Donald Sutherland, Robert De Niro, Alan Rickman, John Malkovich, Christopher Lloyd. Sure. IMDb literally lists every female star of the 1980s as allegedly having been considered to play Vicky Vale. So Glenn Close, Jamie Lee Curtis, Carrie Fisher, Goldie Hawn, Diane Keaton, Molly Ringwald, Meg Ryan, Sharon Stone, Sigourney Weaver, and Madonna. We didn't start the fire. I mean, it's like, really? Really?
No.
And then this is the best one. So if you haven't already, don't read all the way to the end. Right.
Okay.
So allegedly considered to play Batman.
Yeah.
And I feel like these get more ridiculous as you go along.
All right.
Kurt Russell. Oh, yeah, maybe. Al Pacino. What are you? I'm Batman. Like, I don't see it. Patrick Swayze. Tom Cruise.
I mean, Swayze's a bit Val Kilmer-ish.
Yeah.
So,
Tom Cruise. Alec Baldwin. Yeah. Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Especially 80s Hanks as well. Splash era Hanks. It just wouldn't have worked at
all. John Travolta.
Don't cry. Don't cry, Vicky. John Travolta as Batman.
Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Bruce Wayne's Day Off. Mickey Rourke. Jeff Bridges. Bruce Willis,
yeah.
And
Arnie?
I was going to say, now, IMDb has suggested a couple of more names. Can you possibly guess?
Arnie and Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Imagine Arnie as Bruce Wayne. It just wouldn't fit into the fucking suit.
Yeah. It's Japanese. How do you know? I bought it in Japan. Like, no, it wouldn't have worked.
I mean, Bruce, late 80s Bruce.
Yeah.
Imagine him.
Yeah.
Under the
like Bruce Willis is not, but like Stallone being like, hey, you weigh a little more than 108. You know,
I don't buy Stallone as a multi-millionaire.
No.
You know,
believe he put on a batsuit.
Philanthropist.
Yes.
Fuck. I'm not even reading it. You can't say it.
I got one back.
Philanthropist. Is that it? Yeah.
More or less. I got one back.
Of those, I mean, Broderick. This isn't even like 90s Broderick. This is like...
No. This is like...
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Cruise is too young.
Yeah.
Pacino. I think they got it right in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Keaton's one thing, but I mean, imagine how many letters they would have got if it was Tom Hanks. Jesus Christ.